Are we going? I think we're ready to go. Okay. Well, hello everyone. I don't know if you can hear me through this mask or not, but I'm the only one in the room right now, so I'm going to take off my mask. It's going to be an interesting semester, isn't it? Well, I'm actually looking forward to it. My name is Dr. Shane, Dr. Joseph Shane, and I'm going to be working with you in Chemistry 121 Chemical Bonding this semester. So I thought what I would do is make a little introductory video to introduce you to me so you can see what I look like, because maybe you'll never get to see me in person like this because I'll always be wearing a mask if I see you in person. If you see me virtually, which you will probably also do with videos and tutorials that I'm going to make, so you at least know what I look like. Okay, so what I'm doing here is making a video in one of our classrooms that is really not going to be ideal for a virtual environment. You may hear a bunch of mechanical noise in the background, and this is really just a trial run to give you some information and also to see, is this setup a good way to teach you? So let's get to that. Let's see if you can actually follow some information that I'm giving. Okay. So I will likely do most of this when we get together for class, but this actually might save us some time when we get together for the first time at 8 o'clock in the morning on Monday, August 17th, in a room that is yet to be determined. This is about a week and a half before classes start when I make this, so I'm not too worried about where we're going to meet yet, and I'm expecting there'll be lots of technical issues that have been going on, so really be patient and rest assured I have a lot of tools in my toolbox to teach chemistry in person and virtually. We are going to get this done. So welcome to SHIP if you're a freshman, and if you are not a freshman, welcome back, and some of you are going to have some great ideas about how to make this work. So what I thought I would do today was also, this is on YouTube, is can you actually see what's on this slide? Okay, I don't know, I'm recording this right now, I can't tell if you can see it or not, I'll see it later. Can you also see what I'm writing over here? Because if you can, and it turns out you can see my PowerPoint and see what I'm writing, maybe this will be a good room for me to record tutorials in. And I can do that, that's no problem. Okay, so this is the trial room, so bear with me. So, I'm going to talk a little bit just about myself, make this brief. Then maybe when we get together for the first class, we can skip all of this and just jump right in and start getting to work. All right, so who am I? So my name is Dr. Shane. I'm a Western Pennsylvania guy. I grew up in Western Pennsylvania and Indiana County, excuse me. I am both a blue hen from the University of Delaware and a Boilermaker from Purdue University. And I was a high school teacher for a while out in the Midwest. I spent 14 years in the Midwest, and I taught 8 years of high school chemistry in a small town called Noblesville, Indiana, just north of Indianapolis. I live in Carlisle. My wife is the Director of Development and Fundraising, that's what that is, at the Public Library in Carlisle. If you're from Carlisle and you've got a Boston Library, you can thank my wife for some of the money there. I'm also fluent in German. I think there was at least one of you that said that you had a German studies minor, I think, when I looked at all your class profiles. And so you can speak some German with me if you need practice. And what do I do here at Shippensburg? Well, I teach chemistry. I also train science teachers. I am a former high school teacher. Oh, by the way, why do I have this picture? That's actually one of my former high school teachers from 9th grade. I saw him last year. I was surprised he was still living. He's a really nice guy and was a really great teacher. Mr. Howard Mandigo from Indiana Area Senior High School, really great. So I also did teacher education, and I think there's at least one of you, I think in biology, that is thinking about being a teacher. So we will work with you at some point down the line. A little bit more about myself. I don't try to talk too much about myself. This is the most. Some other things that are of interest to me, I put this up because you never know what's of interest to you. You may find some of this interesting. I do pay attention to science education policy, government policy at the state and national level, and how that affects what you're taught in K through 12. I do some advocacy work there. I also have a side gig on the history of science and religion. I wrote a book about that topic with some other people for the National Science Teaching Association. If that's a topic of interest to you, I can talk at length. I teach a class here at Shippensburg in the honors program on science and religion. So if you're an honors student, you may have a chance to take that class at some point. I do also pay a little bit of attention to chemistry for younger kids. This is a chemistry camp that we run at Shippensburg. Didn't run it this past year, but there you go. And also something I'm interested in, I haven't done this, I just have an interest in it, is developing a course on aquatic chemistry. So if any of you are more the geo-environmental track or the environment and ecology track in biology, and I know a lot of you are because about a third of this class are biology majors, you can see me about that. Maybe we can work together someday and develop that course as an independent study or for undergraduate research for you. I do a lot of things here at Shippensburg. I used to be the chemistry department chair. Dr. Robert McCann is the chair now. Last year I was the promotion committee chair, so looking at all of your professors on how they're rising through the ranks, I chaired that committee. I really should put former committee on there. And also, I'm a member of the LBGs here, LGBTQ plus concerns committee. If that's of interest to you, you can see me and we can get you involved there. And hobbies, I'm a cyclist. I may not look like a classic cyclist, but I'm pretty good at it. Road cycling, I'm pretty good at. Mountain biking, I'm terrible at, but I like to do it. And I like to hike, and I should have put on here, I like to kayak. I'm also a volunteer at our farmers market in Carlisle, so I'm very big into local agriculture, if that's something you're interested in. Okay, so some cool stuff. I just thought this was neat. I'll toss this up here. And then actually I'll probably talk about the course. I don't want to bore you with watching this video too long. We had a speaker here a couple years ago, local girl, she's from Allentown, went to Carnegie Mellon to get her PhD, and actually she now teaches at Carnegie Mellon University. She was also on a world champion, or they got a bronze medal rowing team, so if you've ever seen rowing, she was a rower. And she has some neat research I thought was kind of cool. I just put some cool stuff up. That she comes up with these organic molecules that you graft onto bone, so when the bone breaks, this helps the bone heal faster. It helps both, not just hold the bone in place, but promotes bone growth. It's pretty neat stuff. Okay, I think I'm going to stop there and be a little bit more informal about what this course is going to look like. And it's going to look different. I don't know exactly how the semester is going to play out. I can be rest assured that the university, the first priority is safety. So the main thing you want to do when you come to campus is to minimize your exposure to any level of contagion. In this case, of course, we're talking about SARS-CoV-2 or the coronavirus or COVID-19. All of these are kind of pointing towards the same direction. So the university, that was the number one priority, was safety. Getting the technology ready to teach is coming along. It's coming along really, really well. I'm not sure it's all going to be perfect on day one. In fact, with all the technology issues you may have on your end, all the technology issues I'll have on my end, it's going to take us some time to sort this out. So let's just get started and get started slowly. There's some things you're going to want, and a lot of you saw this in an email that I sent before, so this is kind of repetition. You're going to want to have access to D2L. So that's d2l.ship.edu. I think a lot of you will have already seen this. This is old news. And that's where you'll see the information about this class. And I'm probably going to forget some stuff in this video because I'm not doing a script here. So you want to go on to D2L. Fine. That tells you how we're going to run the course. I give you a week-by-week list of what we're going to accomplish. I even give you the PowerPoint slides ahead of time. And I might as well talk about that right now. So I will put the PowerPoint slides up on D2L. The slides have just a lot of text and then some pictures. So what I'll probably ask you to do is that before you come to lecture on a topic, I'll ask that you go on and look at those slides and you copy down the basic definitions, go read the sections of the book about the definitions, and then what we'll do when we have class, either in person, you're in the classroom with me, or you're virtual, is that we will work on solving problems rather than talking about definitions. So that in a sense, it's almost like a flipped classroom, if you've ever heard that. The content's on you, and the problem solving is on us together. I think that'll work out really, really well. Okay, so all that stuff will be on D2L. We have an electronic textbook. It's free. You're welcome. There's a link on D2L. It's a really good book. Make sure you use the online version. It's much easier than trying to download the giant PDF. You'll want a calculator that has scientific capacities. That's not another device. That's not a phone. That's not a tablet, anything like that. So just straight up calculator, which is what you use for quizzes and tests. At some point, you're going to want a nice, legible periodic table to print out that we're going to add notes to as the semester goes on. You'll be able to use it for quizzes and tests. I put it on D2L. Just make sure you get a nice printout of that so you can read it. You can read all the information that's on it. That's fine. At some point, you're going to need to scan a document to me. So how's this going to work? So we'll have 3 classes per week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, at 8 o'clock. That is, of course, unless we go completely virtual, which we'll talk about later. You're going to want to have some way of scanning information to me. A homework assignment that you write out. A quiz that I download onto D2L and you download from D2L. You complete the quiz by just doing the problems on separate paper, or you complete an exam by doing the problems on separate paper and then putting a box around your final answer. Please do that. But you have to have a way of getting that to me. So what I'm going to ask you to do is have some way of scanning documents into a single file. So if your exam is 3 pages long of you writing stuff out, you're not uploading 3 documents, you're uploading 1. So if you have a scanner at home, great. If you have a smartphone, I didn't bring my phone with me. There's lots of apps for the phone. I'm just going to grab this here. The one that I use is called Adobe Scan. And it works really well. You just have the app, you line up all your documents that you want to take pictures of each of the documents, and it puts it into one PDF. It's super easy. I use it more than my regular scanner because it's just easy. You'll also want a good internet connection. Okay, that depends on where you live. I think that's it. I might be forgetting something, but that's really about all you need. So how's this going to work this semester? Again, all this is on D2L. For now, we are going to try synchronous instruction. That means we're going to meet Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 o'clock. What we do during that time, we'll figure it out. I don't think it's going to be a lecture like this. I think it'll be, let's just start working on problems that you already have access to on the PowerPoint slides. Right now, I don't know how easy it's going to be for me to have the PowerPoint slides and a tablet or a whiteboard for me to write out things alongside the PowerPoint. I'm hoping to get there. I'm just not sure I'm going to be there on the first day. So we'll see. So that's called synchronous instruction, where we actually meet, right? So I'm just kind of making this up as I go along. There's basically three things that you're going to get credit for. Quizzes, exams, and homework. I'll need your help here. Quizzes, I'd like to give you every Friday. So here's my idea. I'll have D2L make a quiz accessible at 9 o'clock on Friday, so right after class. Okay, so maybe you ask some questions during class, fine, download the quiz, and you'll have 1 hour. So by 10 o'clock, you will have written out your answers on a piece of paper, scanned it and uploaded it onto D2L under what's called an assignments Dropbox. All this is on D2L, you can take a look at that later. Exams will basically be large quizzes. Okay, so that's fine. I have 3 exam dates proposed for you on Wednesday evenings. I think it's week 4, week 8, I don't remember what the dates are. But go on D2L, take a look. So I'm thinking Wednesday evenings, 3 times throughout the semester, is we'll have our exams, and I'll give you, probably a 3-hour window, like 6 o'clock until 9 o'clock. Fine. Not every Wednesday, of course, just 3 Wednesdays. The dates are on D2L. And then homework, give you a little extra time over the weekend if you need it. Weekly homework's on D2L. Oh, D2L will give you like a checklist of stuff you do every week. So it's really clear what I do. I'll give you till Sunday evening. The idea is that at the end of every week, we have closure, we have a quiz, we have homework, we turn the page Monday morning, and we start all over again. All right. Other things. I should have put this over here as well. I have a YouTube channel. If you Google, or whatever, on YouTube, like whatever that is, so you search for Joseph, so my full name, Joseph Shane, it'll pop up. I think the little picture that I put up there is me from graduate school with a friend of mine doing a demo show. So it's doing chemistry, it'll sort of look like me. And I've got a bunch of videos there right now, so they're all kind of scattered because it was last semester, it was all crazy. I will put YouTube videos up there like this one, duh. And if we go to a complete virtual class, we'll switch over to asynchronous. If we're not allowed to meet, what I'll do is give you a set of weekly tasks and I'll post video lessons, which I think I'm going to do anyway. And we'll see how we go. Okay? So just be prepared for that. I don't think I want to go too much more into detail here. Before I leave off, those of you that have reviewed D2L, this is old news. Before you come to the first class, there's a few things I'd like you to do, and this is all on D2L. I set up a discussion on D2L where you just give me some introductory information and some feedback about some of this stuff, about how you think it's going to work, including the exam dates. So please do that. An honor code statement. This should go without saying. The opportunities, unfortunately, the opportunities for cheating on exams and quizzes are pretty big. You can open up your textbook and have like conversion factors, or what the Greek prefix is, nano and pico, what all that means. You can just open it up, and I probably would never know. I may look at some mechanisms for monitoring an exam, but I'd rather not do that. So there's an honor code statement there that really comes from the university. I don't like to tell these stories, but last semester, when we went online, I did have a small group of students that was pretty obvious that they were communicating with one another during quizzes and tests, because they were making the same mistakes, which were unusual mistakes, and they were all doing it. So I had to confront them about that. They had to take some zeros on some things. It did affect their grades, but we did not turn them into the dean of students, which I don't want to do. So the same rules apply here. And there's all kinds of internet cheating mechanisms out there, unfortunately. Chegg is the one I've been hearing a lot about. So, and that's something you download, you sign it electronically is fine, and you upload that into the assignments Dropbox. These two things will give you some practice using D2L. Okay, that I think is it. Before, I don't think there's anything else I really want to do here. I might, oh yeah, this was just a couple of other things that are cool I was going to show you. This was recent, this was done last year. It was actually taking atoms of carbon, so individual atoms, and forming them into an 18 carbon ring, which is pretty interesting to be able to do that kind of engineering on a molecular level. And this kind of goes back to something that was done years ago, which are basically carbon soccer balls called Buckminster fullerenes, which have all kinds of useful applications. Oh yeah, I forgot about these. I always feel like I need to give a pep talk before I teach a class. So for incoming freshmen, maybe these are good ideas. For the rest of you, you've probably heard all this before. Studying is best done in hard, intense spurts. Study hard for a while, go do something else. So laboring for hours and hours and hours usually isn't a good way to study. So you have to distract yourself. Study hard, distract yourself. Get something to eat, go for a walk, go for a bike ride, whatever. Some of my best tutoring sessions are when I'm not talking very much. The student is telling me what to do. They're going through in their head how they would explain how to do something. That's teaching. That's a way to learn. You've heard that in various contexts before. So form small study groups. Come to my virtual office hours with Zoom as a group and talk it out. Even if it's you telling me what to do, it reinforces it in your own mind. It's a great way to learn. I put this one up here. This is an interesting makeup we have in this class. About a third of you are biology majors. Most of those are health professions. Some are environment and ecology. We have a bunch of engineers, mechanical, civil, software engineering. Sorry if I'm forgetting some of those. We've got some physics and mathematics double majors, I believe. We have some people still sorting out what they want to do, exploratory studies. Some people are getting more general degrees, arts and science in general. Some exercise science. I think those are all the majors. So how's this class going to be relevant for all of you? I'm going to try to make it relevant for you, but don't be too concerned about that. It's general chemistry. You really don't know if it's going to be relevant to you exactly right now. So I just say, don't worry about that. Just do well. Because doing well in this course is very important. The example I would use is those of you that are biology majors that are health professions. Now this applies to everybody, but it's easiest to tell with that group. Is your grades in this course are a big reason you get into programs for laboratory technicians, physician's assistants, physical therapy. These courses matter a great deal in your ability to do well in a 100 level general chemistry course, a course that people are taking all over the world. Yeah. If you're having any problems, let me know. Okay. I like to adapt to the class, especially, my goodness, yeah, it's a cliche, let me help you, but you gotta help me here. Okay. In this environment, with all the technology that we're trying to use, and we will use it, we will get there, let me know what I can do with any of this to help you. Even in this environment, let me know what's going on. Something you're thinking about, research. Maybe I know somebody that does something that you're interested in. You're going to give me some information on your introductory discussion board up here. That's fine. If you have questions about getting involved in a committee, getting involved in something, just talk to us. We know a little bit more than about the subjects that and get involved. Just because we're remote, we're not seeing each other, doesn't mean you can't get involved in something here on campus. That's so important. Is to have a college experience, which is weird right now, but and this, I don't even know why I left that up here because this is the video. So before we get started with class, we need to put away all electronic devices, although who knows what we're going to do here. But so I suppose that last one's really kind of irrelevant. I should do. Okay, I'm going to stop here. This is our first topic. And so when we prepare for the first class, it would be wonderful if you either come into the room or log on for that first class. These two things are done, and you've looked at the first week 1 assignments on D2L, and there's some optional things to look at there before we get started from chapter 1, which for some of you is going to be a review. Actually, for all of you, it'll be a review. Some of you that maybe just had some chemistry classes in high school or physics classes, it'll be old news. Some of you haven't seen this material in years. Significant figures, scientific notation, units and unit conversion. Those are just basic science skills that we will work on. So that's the first topic. If you can do a little advanced work on looking at some of that material from week 1, all on D2L, that's great. So I'll see you on D2L, and hopefully in a couple of weeks we'll have some updates for you about where we're meeting. I'm sure we'll have that, and it'll give you some more time to work out these details. So I'm going to go turn off the camera, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.